Hello, my name is Sahil Malik. I'm a trainer and consultant and I love Angular. I deliver trainings on Angular regularly and you can find my email address right here. Here's another video making yet another Angular concept easy and simple to understand. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Thank you for watching. So your Angular applications are probably going to be comprised of multiple components that need to interact with each other. And I just talked about in a couple of separate videos about things like input, output, etc. Let's talk about two-way data binding. So the idea here is that you're writing a component that accepts an input, output, etc. Is there some way that we can use two-way data binding syntax on it? So as you know that in Angular, there is no two-way data binding per se, because the way two-way data binding works in Angular, let's go here. Basically that I have an input and an output, okay? And you have two one-way data bindings, but Angular had that syntax where you had that banana in a box syntax is what they call it. So something like ng model or something like that, that I can use like a shorthand way of representing two-way data binding using two one-way bindings underneath the scenes. Can we do that? So as you see at this particular application, let me give you a quick overview of this. This is a to-do control that I've written. It renders a bunch of to-dos. Luckily, this is still running. So I'm going to go ahead and hit F5. The idea here is that each one of these to-dos is getting represented by the to-do control, and it accepts an input, which is the to-do. And then when I check the checkbox, it communicates back to its parent. And that is how we are, informing the parent. And, that is why we have an output and an input, and this thing works together. Can we use a shorthand syntax? Like, if you see in the code, this looks pretty wordy. Can we use a shorthand syntax to do two-way data binding here? And the answer is absolutely yes. So as an example, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and create a new property in the code behind for this, in the TypeScript for this, called single to-do, right? And I'm going to use two-way data binding on that single to-do as an example. So let's go back to my to-dos component.html. And the thing is that this name, to-do and to-do change, they are very similar. This is not a coincidence. So if you use a name like X and X change, Y and Y change, the word change, that allows you to do two-way data binding. It's really as simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and write some code here in the template, and you see here that I can use this two-way data binding syntax to bind to to-do control. And I'm also rendering it out as JSON here so we see what the actual data is. And if I come back here, hit refresh, you see here that two-way data binding works. So when I check and uncheck that, it is actually changing the business object underneath the scenes. And this is how two-way data binding can be built in your custom components in Angular. Thank you for watching.